Well, I never knew the relationship between the Kaduna State governor and the former CBN governor or former Emir of Kano, that is Sanusi Lamido Sanusi. Lamido Sanusi Lamido, and it was something that I never thought could happen because the chief of staff, to the governor, actually made a statement that was used against him. He called Sanusi a former emir, and when Sanusi stood up to speak, he said there was nothing like a former emir, that he is never a former emir, that why would the chief of staff address him in that manner? And you can imagine the evil that befell the chief of staff immediately. It just didn't take long before judgment came upon, the chief of staff. Perhaps maybe because of the relationship that exists between, the governor of Kaduna State and Sanusi, that is also the former CBN governor, and also a former emir, because he was dethroned at some point for fraud related cases during his time as the emir of Kano. And, it's so surprising that some things happen just because of statements that people make. Some things happen because of, different things just happen. But, what really befell this chief of staff is just unfortunate, just because he called, the former CBN governor, that is Sanusi Lamido, a former emir. Well, I'll bring you more details onto as to what happened and how he was dethroned and became someone low. I'll bring you more details, but please stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video and share this video. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you can get updated anytime we drop a new video. All right, dear friends, without further ado, right here, the governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State has reportedly sacked and redeployed his chief of staff, Mohammed Sani Abdullahi, 2 weeks after addressing Lamido Sanusi Lamido as a former emir of Kano. It was recalled that Abdullahi, while speaking at the Kaduna Investment Summit in September, has introduced Sanusi as former emir. Sanusi was dethroned and replaced by Ado Bayero following corruption allegations in March 2019, took exception to Abdullahi's description. Speaking at the event, Sanusi, a former CBN governor, said he was not a former emir. He said, "When I listen to the chief of staff, I will call him former chief of staff. You will understand why I called you former or later. Next time, don't call me former emir. There's nothing like that." A video of the exchange had drawn reactions on social media after Sani Abdullahi's removal. In a cabinet reshuffle on Monday, El-Rufai removed Abdullahi, who had served as his chief of staff since 2019. The Kaduna governor deployed him to the Ministry of Planning and Budget, where he would be commissioner. The full list of commissioners redeployed and their new portfolios is listed here. As it says, for environment, they have Jafuru Sanu; public works and infrastructure, Thomas Yang; education, Halima Lawal; agriculture, they have Ibrahim Husseini; and local government, Shehu Usman Mohammed; Planning and Budget Commission, Mohammed Sani Abdullahi, that is the former chief of staff to the governor; and Business Innovation Technology, Kabir Matu; Sports Development, Idris Iyam. The governor also approved the deployment of the following officials: Umar Aboki, Permanent Secretary, Planning and Budget Commission, Murtala Dabo, Executive Chairman, Fiscal Responsibility Commission; others: Abubakar Hassan, DG, Kaduna State Contributory Health Management Authority; Tama Nadul, MD, Kaduna Market Development and Management Company; Khalil Nur Khalil, ES, Kaduna Investment Promotion Agency, Kadipa; and Maimunatu Abubakar, GM, Kaduna Environmental Protection Agency. Yes, so it was just an unfortunate incident, but my concern is, how does this really affect the governor of Kaduna State, that he had to get involved in this, that he had to, did, should I even say he was demoted, because he was the chief of staff and he was later moved to being a commissioner, just because of a statement. And that alone drew a lot of reactions from Nigerians, because Nigerians were wondering, like, what exactly is the relationship between the former CBN governor Sanusi and the governor of Kaduna State, just because of that statement he made. See how he has become a commissioner from being the chief of staff. And I believe also that Sanusi was very confident of the relationship that existed between him and, the governor of Kaduna State, because after the chief of staff made a statement, you can imagine what Sanusi said to him, that, he just came straight to him. He said, well, when he listened to the chief of staff, that he would call him a former chief of staff. So that means even at that very moment, there's a total sack of him being the chief of staff. Immediately, he lost that position, because for Sanusi to be so confident to say, the moment I listen to you, you have stopped being the chief of staff, I will also call you the former chief of staff. He said, you will understand why I called you former later. You can imagine. So he was so confident that why I called the former chief of staff, you would understand later on. So now I believe that guy now really understood why they called him former chief of staff, because indeed he has been removed from that position and made a commissioner. Thank God he was still at least being respected to be given a position of a commissioner. Otherwise, I believe Sanusi has had other bad intentions for this guy, because just calling him a former Emma because he was dethroned, I'm very sure he just wants to erase that chapter of his life of him being dethroned as the Emma of Kano. He was a former Emma of Kano, and somehow he had some fraud related cases and he was dethroned and was replaced by Bayero, and I believe that cost him a lot of, disappointment, and, kind of, he felt ashamed of himself being a CBN governor. From there, he was made an Emma of Kano. Everyone was wondering, like, is this the same Sanusi? How come he's now the Emma of Kano? But he also does not know a lot of people are after him, and that was what caused him to become, to be dethroned. Perhaps he has been stealing a lot from the treasury and he was somehow caught. Well, or maybe he was blackmailed. We never can tell. But all the same, I'm just wondering what the relationship really is between the Kaduna State governor and the former CBN governor Sanusi Lamido, that really took so much effect, that made, that same chief of staff to be sacked and made a commissioner. Well, guys, I don't know what you have to say about this. Please drop it in the comment section, and also give this video a thumbs up. Do have a pleasant time. Bye for now.